Satisfactory is about to come out on September 10th, 2024. And it's going to be officially the 1.0 version. And so I figured to brush up on my Satisfactory since I don't know the last time I played, maybe sometime back in 2020 or 2021. Feels like a while ago. I never made the nuclear power plant. I never finished phase 4. And so I was streaming for the last, I want to say, month off and on. I was out of town for vacation for 2.5 weeks in there, but the total time on the map is 169 hours, but I think a good amount of it's some AFK stuff while I was just letting materials accrue, and I didn't watch any guides or anything. I was excited to use the blueprinter. You can see that some of these are blueprint things, and I'm gonna just tour the whole base right now. So this is my nitric acid production, and that connects up to the nuclear power plant, but yeah, with 1.0 coming out, they're gonna change the game, and so all legit. We only used one train, but this is my first playthrough. I would do it different. I'm really actually looking forward to the 1.0 release because I think that they're gonna change stuff for the better. Obviously, more optimization, but I kind of have a NASA PC and it's running amazing. But we've optimized the base, and we have this much of the map used anything that's a check mark. So the main base was set up here. I don't know if there's other better places to start a base. And I've kind of explored quite a bit. I don't know if I've seen the whole map, but there seems to be just a ton of iron and stuff over here. I just discovered this. Maybe that's a place for a base or a train or something like that, but I want to start over with the new version. So, and I only made one of these. I didn't really know what to do with it, but what these stacks are is these are just culminations of like mass optimizing stuff. Like these are the magnetic field generators. This is one of the tier 4 parts that's fully automated. And there's, I think 6 of them, or no, 10 of them, 10 of them producing at the same time. Battery factory, we'll go tour that in a little bit. But everything around here has like a purpose. Like these are all automated wiring. It's like, 4 floors of 4, there's 16 making automated wiring. Like there's whatever 6 floors of these making these heavy modular frames. So everything kind of like culminates back over here. I'll show you some of the wiring underneath. So this is like, to get some of the spaghetti out of the way. There's still some in here, but, I'm not really that into making it look that pretty so much as I'm getting the math right. Which I just recently learned there's a calculator in the game where you can do like 8 times 4 and it equals 32, or like, and it will come out with stuff. So I don't even need to tab out anymore, and that's a really cool thing that I discovered about the game now, that I tabbed out for a calculator all the time. But everything kind of culminates around here. Like I've ventured out and we're going to go and see some of these other places, but this is kind of where it all started. I was like, I can, with the blueprint system, pack a lot of these things in here. Like, it's like a brick. So I built this in the blueprinter, and then I just cloned this around and hooked up all the stuff on the outside. Like there's still parts of it you can't connect, but generally it's just grabbing tons of materials, as much as the level 3 miners possibly can out of each location, fully overclocked, like using the little things, these things, power shards, and making sure I get 780 because that's the max a conveyor belt can do. And so I'm a little confused on why trains are so exciting. Here, let's see what we won on this. We got analysis complete. So making supercomputers out of something, steel frames out of steel pipes and reinforced. This is probably quite good. This one, Jesus, this seems really annoying. Bauxite, coal, sulfuric acid, and water into this, and water, like, dude, obnoxious. Let's choose that. Okay, I don't know. Someone watching the stream or watching this video on YouTube someday might be like, noob, that was one of the best recipes. I don't know, 1.0 is coming out. I went running around the map, so now I've got some more hard drives, but we're not going to refactor the base right now. We're definitely going to start over. My train is named What the Fuck is Going On, WTF is going on, because it took me a while to figure out what the fuck was going on with the train. I only really wanted to build one. It seems weird. It's probably really good if I want to build a base up here and a base like in the bottom right and top right, and just kind of like ferry all materials to the edges of the map. I could see it. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna build my next base. Like, I just happened to plunk down in the start and then like committed to this spot. Like, maybe it's better to build a base up in the sky over here. Like, I never even used these 3 uraniums. I actually used the weakest uranium, and I still can run, I think, like 15 or 16 nuclear power plants off of it. So speaking of which, let's go tour the nuclear power plant, because that's what's making this all possible. So a bunch of conveyor belts come up here, and I'm not going to take the time to actually like go to each spot, but that nitric acid producing spot in the lower right of my screen right now, and then below it is the sulfuric acid. And then all these conveyor belts and pipes are pumping that shit, those materials, those like semi-complex materials up here for like truly complex materials that, you know, I have to like spend the electricity to even get it to pump up here. The conveyor belts do it just fine, but you're getting to see a picture of the nuclear power plant down below. And I mean, back behind us, I mean, just look at that. I built all that shit. It took some time. I don't think there's any fast way to play this game, especially for the first time if you're just mathing it all out yourself, not using any calculators. But and then you can even see over there on the left, kind of rendering in and out underneath this conveyor belt, is the oil fields. I mean, we're gonna tour all this. You can't see over to the right because I built shit in the way, but there's a whole other base way out there too that's a rubber factory. Like that one over to the left, that was the plastic factory, but this is the nuclear power plant. And it's not even that crazy, it's just optimized perfectly. So it makes 300 uranium per minute. And then from there I run it through 6 blenders to make encased uranium. And like, I'm of course running these like T3 steel beams. I'm running these encased industrial beams. Running electromagnetic control rods, the concrete and the silica. And all of that combines with this shit and makes uranium fuel rods over here. And the uranium fuel rods get sent down actually into, we're running 7.5 right here. Both these are running like 50%, maybe a little bit over, but either way it's 50%. So we'll go tour that in a second, and then there's like 15 or 16 nuclear power plants down there that I've calculated out how many blenders I need to produce non-fissile uranium with it, and so it works out that I can run 2 of these making plutonium pellets. Arguably, like, I don't know if I should be using these for electricity. I didn't feel like I needed it, but then it runs through 5 assemblers to make encased plutonium, and then the encased plutonium gets turned into plutonium fuel rods, which would be the best power source in the game, but then it makes permanent plutonium waste. And so what I did is I was just like, well, that's the slag off of all my power plants that we're going to go tour in a second. And so I just have them feeding straight into this. And I think that makes the most sense for tickets. Oh yeah, and since I was playing like truly stock vanilla experience, I didn't print any tickets, so I don't have any mods. I've not bought anything in the shop. We'll go do that in a sec once we head back. But this is the nuclear power plant. So as you can see, we're just falling through the sky. Like, it's really that high up that you can like see a tour of the world as we come down to it. But this part over here is off. This is, if I did use the plutonium that those 3 were producing, the plutonium fuel rods, it would make these extra 8 nuclear power plants would be online. But I don't see a big reason to do that when I'm producing, you know, almost 47,000 megawatts. And my energy production is up and down because obviously those particle accelerators, I have 2 particle accelerators in the main base that are producing the tier 4 material that's almost done. And then I have the 2 that are over here that are producing the plutonium pellets or whatever. But yeah, it's like these all, they work out to, I guess this one's missing fuel right now, this one has one. It basically works out that as they produce, they're all backed up here. And we have the capacity for all of them to fill, but yeah, the rest, it's basically perfectly balanced. And that's not even a rich uranium. Ooh, and the phase 4 part is almost done. Look at that, 3,992. So apparently we get a gold coffee cup, so I'm gonna print my tickets and all that. You can print the tickets anytime, but I wanted to have the vanilla experience before 1.0. Before I get all crazy, I didn't want to watch any guides. So everything's just vanilla. So we'll go turn that in. We'll hook it up to destroy them. So we get more tickets. We're gonna head back to the base. So yeah, that's the oil fields over there that produce plastic. Plastic comes in from the side here. And since of course all of this is radioactive, that's why having it up in the sky is kind of the place to do it. It just makes the most sense. So bam, 4,000 out of 4,000, done. So let's head to the space elevator, beat the game. That's exciting. Celebrate with some soup. I'm hoping they fix the model because it looks like I don't have a head right now. It's kind of weird. So let's then go like this. They go in there. Seal, dude. Phase 4 complete. Unavailable in early access. So yeah, early access about to come to an end. So these things will just pile up here, I guess. How many do I have? Chop them up. Alright, so that's now all Phase 4 materials automated, making more than one per minute. Not exactly amazing. There's obviously a ton more nodes, and learning the different systems for the game was really cool. And the hard drives give you like different possibilities. You can have different combinations for things. But yeah, I think all these are just worth a bunch of points. So let's go over to the little shop. I think I built it over here. Yep, here it is. So I never bought anything in the store. Not that it's all like in game. You have to get these tickets, so you can get all sorts of different stuff, like different foundations, like things to help really build and role play your factory. You know, I don't know if I really need structural frame sets or road barriers. Like I'm not really playing it like that. I built it like a fucking machine. So I can apparently buy a gold coffee cup in here. Employee of the planet. Yeah. Only awarded the pioneers who have completed the last available stage of project assembly in its early design stage. Yeah. So kind of cool little reward that I have a feeling they'll probably take out of the game. Maybe they won't. But either way, we can say we did it. We did it on stream. There's no cheating, no mods. All legit. So, we'll buy that. But we gotta print our tickets. Okay, where's one of these when I need it? So 753, 754, that's the number of tickets that it took me to get to the end. Or I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh wow, it only prints off 500 at a time. Oh, you can't even print them all at once, I love it. Okay, that's kind of funny. So alright, great fucking success. And I can drink the coffee, it looks like. I'd heard that it doesn't really get in the way so that you can take screenshots, is the idea. Let's see, what can I do? There's emotes. Shows how much I just pressing all the buttons. There's a way to emote in this game. Ah, there we are. So, I don't know if I can go like this with it. No. Huh. Well, anyways, that's the golden coffee cup. We can buy all the other shit later, doesn't matter. Alright, let's continue the tour. So, there's just all this shit that's just building stuff, like, non-stop. Like, I'll even show you the train and stuff, but I don't know. I don't think I'm doing anything too crazy yet to warrant the train. Like, everything's just producing and deleting now. So, this is the way over here to the plastic factory. And so the plastic factory is these two lines of plastic that are coming in, because the factory's just chomping plastic at an alarming rate. And so that's just all these fields of plastic out here. So what I'll do is I'll just go over here like this. So it's like my first oil field when I was first building, and I think in the start I was producing fuel here, and so I was making a lot of generators because I need a lot of fuel. But I realized later on, like, I didn't really need all these generators anymore, and so all these produce plastic. And so I have another identical setup just like this that's right over here, and then another identical one right over there. So I don't see any reason to show you guys the exact same setup 3 times, but that's what it is. Works out math-wise to like the exact same number. I think there's like 20 total refineries over there. Something like that. So, and then we'll go over to the rubber plant and the bauxite factory and batteries, sulfuric acid, turbo fuel. Oh, there's a geothermal gen down there. Those are terrible, and they're apparently getting buffed. They're pretty worthless though. Okay, moving on. I guess let's go look at the train really fast. And I'm not going to take you to like single ore sites. Like, I have a bunch of little satellite bases that are way off in the distance that there's no reason for us to tour. But this train station right here, it comes like every like 5 or 6 minutes or something, and it just drives between there and there. All it does is bring 5 cargo cars of screws, because I'm making, I think, 7,020 screws over there way off in the distance, and then they all load in the train, and then the train drives them over here, dumps them in boxes. And so that's what those lines are underneath there. It's just screws getting routed underneath into these to like make rotors and other shit that uses just a million screws. Computers, which in 1.0 are apparently changing to no longer use screws. So yeah, batteries come in over here, as well as a bunch of other just really high-end materials, the electromagnetic control rods and the versatile frameworks. It's like a combination of complex shit. And I make 25 of these a minute right now, and I think I make like 44 of these a minute or something. Making 150 batteries a minute and just deleting most of them. I use like 50 here and nowhere else. Like, I could use them in this drone port, but I don't really know what to do with it. So yeah, that's the train. It just does screws. Maybe I can figure out something else next time. But oh yeah, and then down below was like my very first, it's like the very beginning of the base. I never deleted them. I was thinking I was going to, but then I never needed the coal down there. But yeah, if we just take a little peek down there, that was the beginning. Those very humble coal generators, 75 megawatts for some coal and I think water. So that was the beginning of the base down there. And then I came up here because I was like, okay, I really need all the iron up here. I'd surrounded myself with coal. I was the coal king. Coal king. I think I had like 30 of those generators. It was nothing. Ended up building like 120 or something of the fuel gens. So let's go tour the rubber factory. Since you already saw 1/3 of the plastic factory, just imagine the other 2/3, same exact thing. We're not gonna go over there. Whereas this is like the main assembly factory, and then this is the other like big mining factory. Oh shit, no it's not. We went in the wrong tube. This takes us down to the old base, which we don't really go through there anymore. It just produces a few things for us. We don't need all the coal down there. I'm sure there's some recipes that could use it. This one. So this one over here takes us out to our sulfur, and what else do we have over here? We have our bauxite. All 3 of these bauxites claimed. One makes solution, one makes plates, one makes like the other things. I don't know what they are. But that's the old base down there. I mean, you can see it because of the little skyscrapers now, but the skyscrapers, you know, I wasn't always building those. But the blueprint system really helps you clean up efficiency and be like, okay, I'm gonna build 32 of these. One click, hook up a couple piping, couple conveyor belts, electricity, boom, done. Especially good for things where it's like you need to build like 64 of something. So I think that's where the blueprint is really strong. Really, really, really strong. So this place makes some copper because you need copper for the alkalite plates, which are like the tier 5 780 resource stuff. So that's what these are. It's just all of the alkalite stuff coming through with the silica. Making alkalite plates, shipping them home. And then this is our cloth factory right here, cloth plant. This is for making masks and making the biohazard suit stuff. So I always have 50 of each on me, and then 100 for radioactive stuff. And so there's this like pressure oil well thing here that gives me just tons of oil. So that's how I'm able to make the cloth out of that. And then over here, I'm able to just make tons of rubber out of all of the oil. And so then that earlier on before nuclear would turn into fuel out of the heavy oil residue. And then I would make turbo fuel out of it with the compact coal. I don't know if I'm going to do this again for my next build, but apparently they buffed these. These are, instead of being 150 megawatts now, they're going to be 250. So I'm kind of curious. Maybe I will do another turbo fuel one, but this was just me experimenting with turbo fuel, and originally I made fuel with it, so because I wanted it for electricity. So I think there's like 51 of these. So it can't make enough turbo fuel now out of the plastic, and it doesn't really matter. I don't need these resources back. This is just early relic of power setup before I got to nuclear, and there's not been a good reason for me to really change it. You know, it just powered down. Like, it's okay. It doesn't have enough fuel. If it ever gets enough fuel, it will turn back on. And then this is the battery factory right here, which is just the aluminum casings, alumina, sulfuric acid. It's just a combination of stuff that's like maybe kind of annoying to get. A lot of water, and so that's basically all dedicated to batteries right there, but piping in other stuff off of assembly lines. Then this is like the bauxite factory, and this pipe right here has alumina in it. So it's like a whole aluminum factory plant and all the shit for it. Like, that's making the casings. This is just the exhaust that exhausts silica while making alumina, so I just delete it because I don't want to deal with the math for it. And this I just have spitting out aluminum scraps as fast as fucking possible. And then we can go and tour this other area. But that is the state of the factory. I don't see any good reason to go and run around the plastic areas and the other, like, you know, just there's not main production. I mean, there's nothing exciting over here. It's just me going and getting all of the copper and routing it back to the main base. And then this is just producing silica and stuff. Where are we right now? Oh, this is my pure silica solution factory, where all I run out is the solution. And then over here the other part of the bauxite. So yeah, the bauxite factory is kind of complex because you still need like the tier 1 resource where you just make the solution. You use that with like sulfuric acid. Like the game really is wild resource collection game. It's very epic. But that's basically it. I mean, otherwise we're just going over to this other factory that's more of the same. The whole game's factories. So we made a train. I can't figure out what to do with the drone yet, but I'm sure that it does something. I'm getting lost. I could only imagine someone who builds all over the map. Ah, yeah, here it is. It's like, you know, factory hidden in the forest. Factory in the mist. But this is just producing same stuff, the alumina, scraps, and then excess water goes into that. Those are coal generators. So the game's just truly crazy. It's a bunch of fun though. I mean, for any resource management game, but I'm looking forward to 1.0. Like, you know, there's stuff off in the distance. I mean, if we were to go around to every single place, it wouldn't make any sense. It's just a lot of stuff like this at this point. I've gotten so optimized with it where I've got the maximum belts, the level 5 lifts, which they have room for a level 6. Maybe we'll see level 6 in 1.0, which will make some of this routing easier, etc. And maybe there needs to be upgrades for the train that like is like insta load and insta unload, because right now like it feels kind of weird. I'm sure there's people who have really mastered the train, but I didn't feel any need to use the train. I feel like I built whatever I needed at an area and then just ran a conveyor belt out. Which I guess you could argue, do that with the train station. I guess you could have the train run around and all of these stations would just be loads, so the train would just get loaded, and then it would go fully unload. I guess. Either way, thanks for watching my Satisfactory pre 1.0 video, and that's it. That's the golden coffee cup. Has a little sound too. Game's beautiful. It runs great on my PC, but you know, I don't have a normal PC, and we're running some serious graphics settings. Everything on ultra, no downscaling, but it's flawless. The save takes a little bit. You know, like 2-3 seconds, but I mean, you'll have seen it in the video. But yeah, I had a good time. It's one of the more challenging things I think I've done in a game without, like, you know, watching any YouTube guides or anything like that, which I always like to challenge myself. So I think this was nightmare mode. Didn't use any of the ticket purchases and just did everything stock. So had a good time. Some of it's redundant at this point, you know, on my playthrough in 1.0, knowing what I know now, I'll probably build slightly differently. I'll probably have some cloth production a lot earlier and make the bombs a lot earlier so I can just start clearing spots on the map. But I don't know, maybe I will try to produce stuff and then run a train through. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really impressed with this game, and I think someday games like this, but in VR, maybe like 10 or 15 more years of VR, are actually going to be like so badass. Because like, you think of Factorio, which is a really cool game, and it's like sprite based, so they can achieve like size like this, but this runs amazingly smooth, and apparently it's going to get like 10 times smoother with the 1.0 update. They're like fixing some stuff by like 90%. So that's an impressive figure to fix something. So beautiful game. Tons and tons and tons of content. Highly recommend it. The price to pay for this game is so worth it. This game, the amount of time that you can play it versus the price you pay for it, works out to be a pennies per hour at most. So it's just wild. So yeah, really, really cool simulation. Probably one of the kings of the simulation. I mean, it's easily in the top 5, if not the top 3. I'm sure it's subjective at that point what you like the most, but beautiful world and some eerie alien stuff. The PvE's it's not about that though. The factory building is impressive, and I mean the graphics look really good. So really does look nice for the scale that the game runs at. It's very impressive. So yeah, success. We've won. All right, so I'm gonna clip that for YouTube. That's one of the things I really like about Twitch sometimes. Makes it really easy for me to record videos. But we've done it. Okay, let's go back to the base and buy everything now, because that's another thing I'm worried about, is that if I don't do it beforehand, they might and I don't even know how it works. If I make a new game, I probably can't buy that again, can I? Okay. How do I add the card? Add the card. Is there a faster way to do this? Ah, there we are. I was like, I'm not really looking forward to this. Unavailable. What? Okay. Maybe I gotta buy some other stuff first. We'll see what happens. Yeah, man, we need a golden nut. We need another golden cup. Parts. No. No. That's it. Boom. Give me another golden cup. What the fuck is this? It's playing goat music. Okay. So we purchased it all. Yep. Yeah. Now we can buy it. Wouldn't let us buy it without buying the other stuff first, I guess. Okay. So then we can apparently go like this. And we can go like this. Alright, so it ate the golden cup. Yeah, and then we can buy this. How did you even figure out how to get this? Whatever, you deserve it. I saw it when I saw the golden cup. I was reading the golden cup and it's like, oh, destroy the golden cup to get this. So then I still have the golden cup because I bought a second one. Now I have 50 tokens left over. Boom. Or no, I have 219. So what is this? Is it a manufacturer item? Oh no, I'm sure I have to make it at the bench, don't I? I totally have to build it myself. Golden factory cart, yup. Okay, so I need to go grab some Kateria. Alright, what else we got? We got steam computers. Or turn crude oil into heavy oil residue. No. Aluminum and rubber makes a heat sink. 10 per minute. Whoa. Aluminum and rubber. I feel like I have a lot of that. Alright, so let's go get some Caterium ingots. Stupid. And we're gonna go drive around in a golden cart. I hope, though, I can get this at the start of the game, because that would be coolest. I wonder if I have it forever, like, now that I've unlocked it. I mean, who knows what they're gonna change? I mean, not that it really matters. Okay, where's my Caterium ingots? Okay. I deserve my golden cart. Give me my golden throne. With my gold cup. This game's so silly. Craft it while flying. Alright, so how do I deploy this thing? Tell me it doesn't need gas. What the fuck? It's so tiny. It's so tiny. No fucking way. Oh no. It steers terrible. It's actually awful. This thing's a death trap. How do I break? This is a death trap. Jesus. You gotta make your factory safe for this. I don't know if it's made for off-roading. My base is not made for this. Guess this is the gold standard of base building. If you can drive this fucking thing around. Jesus. This is not exactly my idea. Open record menu, load path. So you can record a path to like tour your base in your golden cart. What the fuck is going on in this game? Look at it, it like off-roads and slides around. Like this is as fast as it goes and the brakes don't even fucking work at all. The brakes don't work at all. Like you'll just drive off a cliff in this thing. What happened to my gold cup? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so gold cup, gold factory cart. Yeah, bitch. We beat it.